Okay, so I have to show you this. This stamp is objectively the greatest stamp of all time because it's so quality job. Not good job, not great job, not you're awesome. It's just, this paper was a quality job. And it's just so random. It's so, no fluff, no nothing, just quality job. What's going on? Welcome back. This is a week in the life of a teacher.
We bop and hippity hop, I'm as happy as I can be. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom. Love is sweet, love is grand, works one. We bop and hippity hop, I'll never be a millionaire.
First, let's get this out of the way. My shirt says, "You gonna learn today," and learn is exactly what we did today. And this week was much better than last week. And so a lot's happened since last week, where I sort of vented and I was frustrated and upset with challenging behaviors and this, that, and the other thing. And I made some changes in my classroom, and I wanted to talk about those changes and sort of let you know what's been going on. I started out the week trying to what I tried to do, and it didn't work. What I tried to do was I tried to incorporate student choice into the day, where during reading time and math time, students had different choices they could choose from, and they could just choose whatever they wanted, and I would call them to work with them. And the reason why it didn't work was because there was too many choices, and I had kids just like, I would have kids just like walking around, not picking, and I thought that giving students all these choices, that, oh, how can you misbehave when you're just doing what you want to do? And that just wasn't the case. What I realized is something that I feel like I already knew deep down. When you teach in an urban school or Title I school where students come from homes of poverty or instability, sometimes school day is the only stability that they get. So students feed off of routine and procedures and predictability. So when every single day, you know, if they have too many choices, it can be overwhelming. So what I did was I went back to the drawing board and I restructured my day in a way that's very safe and predictable. And it's every single day, the same thing happens every single day, one after another after another. The content in each little time slot will change, obviously, but what we do and how we do it has changed. And the reason for that is because students start to get the procedure and routines down, and they can predict what's gonna happen next. And it's safe for them, and it's easier for them to feel safe. So let me just show you my day. I'm gonna show you the breakdown of what it looks like. I write my schedule down on the board so that I can remember. It's not for the students, this is 100% for me. So here we go. I call it the schedule of justice, naturally. So we have breakfast. Come in, eat breakfast. Then we have journal time. So the thought process behind that is when kids are done eating their breakfast, instead of waiting for everybody to be done, you throw away your trash, you get out your journal, and you can journal. It's free write time. And so I have that, and then I'll share out some journals. I'll pick one journal from each table, we'll share out real quick. And then after that we have our morning meeting. That's on the carpet, where we will come to this carpet right here, and we will practice, our letter card deck. And once this just, perfect. Okay, let me get my letter card deck. Help. Please. Here it is. Letter card deck. So each letter has a picture and the letter. So you go P, pig, P, R, rat, and the kids skywrite it each time. It's amazing. Orton Gillingham, OG, is the name of this curriculum. I don't follow it with fidelity, but I do kind of put my own twist on it. But anyway, we do this card deck, and we do this blue book. Not sponsored by any means, but I would. I would. This is my favorite resource. It is phonemic awareness book developed by Michael Haggerty. If you want to search, just search for Heggerty. Just search Haggerty Blue Book and you'll find it. I think it goes up to 2nd grade. It's phonemic awareness. They're little call and response games. Anyway, we do those two things, and then we talk about what we're going to do today. We talk about the rules, how we're going to be respectful, responsible, and safe. What does that look like? What does that sound like? It's about 10 minutes of time. So after we're done with our morning meeting, what we do next is we do our morning work, which is a brain warm-up. which it used to vary day to day, but now it's the same thing every day. They're called drops in a bucket, and every single day, the format stays the same, the questions are different. Rhyming words, beginning sounds, capital, lowercase, trace your own, and every single day we do that to warm up our brains, and then if they get done early, they can write a picture on the back. And so we go nice and slow and methodical. After that, that's like what I call my do now. Then we do our alphabet work. Then we go back to the carpet and we do those letter cards again. We practice our read words or sight words, shared reading, writing, read aloud. Every morning, same. Afternoon, very similar. Snack, number talk, afternoon meeting, do now lesson, count to 100, rename the number. So the kids start to realize that that's the way it is. Every single day, this is what we do, every single day, the same time, and it becomes safe and predictable for them. Now, a little note about my alphabet thing is, because there was a little bit of controversy with me, I was with small groups, right? Like, small groups are my thing. I feel like I'm just like walking around everywhere. Small group instruction is my cup of tea. It's what I'm the best at. And so based on my student data, we need small group instruction, but my students aren't socially and emotionally ready for that right now, for me to be hands off and for them to be on their own doing independent work. So I'm teaching whole group instruction right now. Not the best situation. I still feel small group instruction is the best, but you got to go with what you have. You have to, be reflective, and if your students aren't ready for it yet, they're just not. So I have shut down small group instruction for now, planning on waiting until, at this point, I'm just going to wait till after Christmas, because we have Thanksgiving break coming up and all these breaks, and I'm just going to wait till after Christmas. But my students that need more, like the students who already know their letters, I'm not, they are still practicing letter formation because it's necessary. They still do B, D reversals, or they'll write a letter backwards. But what I'll do is, they all sit together, because I have students grouped by ability right now, and that moves, and that's fluid. So if a kid learns all their letters, they'll get moved to the table with it. Anyway, what I'll do is, as we're writing down the letters, I play the Storybots videos. Just look it up on YouTube, Storybots. And it's a little 1-minute video for each letter. It's fun, the kids like it, it's like rock and roll, it's fun. And during that video, the kids are tracing the letters on the paper. So during the A video, they trace the A's. B video, they trace the B's. So as I'm circulating around, when I get to the green table, which is my highest performing students, when they're tracing, I'll say, quick, turn your paper over on the back and write the word dog. And then they'll do it, I'll come back and check. So I'm doing differentiation within that. So they're still getting what they need. And I find little pockets of time throughout the day to do that. So, it's not ideal, but it's working right now. And my students that were giving me some trouble, they're responding quite well to that. Now, they're not perfect by any means, but they're responding more to the predictability and in the sameness. And when we're doing the whole group instruction, it's easier for me to deal with misbehavior because everybody else is busy doing something and I can take care of that, versus if it's small group, I'm trying to teach a small group and there's a kid over there being a dope and I gotta go stop what I'm doing and go. So it's just easier right now for me to help help my students that are struggling. They need my help, they need me. They need me to help them, teach them the rules. Even if they're being rude and disrespectful towards me or other students, they need me to teach them and replace the undesired behavior with a new one. So how I do that is, I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out. But what I've been doing that's been somewhat effective is when a child isn't doing the right thing or they're doing something undesired. I make them tell me what they should be doing. Instead, I say, instead of saying stop doing that, I tell them what they should be doing, and then I have them repeat it to me, and then I bring it back to respectful, responsible, and safe, our 3 building rules. So, for example, if a student is mocking another student or talking when they're not supposed to, or being, touching somebody, I'll say, right now we're being quiet so that your friends around you can learn. Or we only say kind words, ones that build each other up. You need to apologize to your friend for saying that mean word. Just making them go through the process again and again. Hopefully they'll get tired of that process and stop. So it's just not overreacting. I talked to a colleague today and she was offering me some insight because she has a clip chart. I don't have a clip chart. I have a different system. I had a video about that. I'll link it up. But when a student misbehaves, they get their name written on the board as a warning. And she shared with me that when a student is misbehaving in her classroom, she does not immediately move their clip down. She waits until they're calm, because when you move a clip of a student or whatever you do when they're already angry, it might just escalate it. So that's something I'm going to bring into next week. Another thing that I'm going to be trying next week is, and it's been a struggle for me, is what to do when a student is doing something wrong and they won't stop. For example, I'll be standing in front of the classroom delivering directions, and there's a kid talking and talking and talking. To nobody, just himself. You need to be quiet right now so the other kids can hear me. Talk, 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 won't stop, won't stop, won't stop. Well, what's not working is this. If you don't stop, you're going to be in trouble. Most kids, if you say, hey, stop doing that or you're going to be in trouble, well, stop doing it, right? It's your basic consequence system. Hey, we don't tip in our chairs. If you keep tipping in your chair, this is going to happen, and they'll stop. For this child, that just doesn't seem to work. So I had to figure out a different way to approach, I need you to stop that behavior. How can I get them to stop without saying stop or you're in trouble? So basically next week I'm going to try to distract that student, because it's like they're getting themselves in a loop and they're continuing the undesired behavior over and over again, and I try to break that cycle, break that loop. So I might try to not confuse them, but like, hey, I need you to do a job for me real quick. Can you go do this? And just to break the cycle real quick, because mentally they're not stopping, and I know you're hearing me, you're being bad, but I'm gonna try something different, because insanity is, the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, expecting something different to happen. It's not working, so I gotta try something new. And that is when a student is misbehaving and getting in that loop of misbehavior. You know what I'm talking about. When a student's being defiant, or they are just being obnoxious, or they're not stopping what you need them to stop. I'm gonna try to distract them. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe some magic tricks, right? Anyway, much better week this week. I'm trying new things, and I really appreciate all of your suggestions. I take every comment to heart. And what I'm gonna try this weekend is, I'm done recording this video, I'm gonna edit it tonight, and then I'm not gonna think about teaching until Sunday. I already have my lesson plans done, so I might not even think about teaching until Monday. But the reality is, teaching is a roller coaster. And this week was a much better week. Hopefully next week I can build upon it. We had end of the day today, we had some center time. We played Mario Kart again, and I got a Wii U in the room, and we played Mario Kart. I'm just gonna have to do a lesson on how to play Mario Kart.
All right, yeah, you guys got to use your power-ups as soon as you get them. We're gonna have a lesson on how to play Mario Kart on Monday.
Kids don't know how to use the power-ups. I gotta teach them how to do the power slide. It's gonna be a whole thing, but we had a lot of fun. And this was one of those weeks where it's nice. It was one of those weeks where I had plenty of moments this week that I said, this is why I teach. Oh yeah, I do love this job. I do love this career. And it's always nice to have days and weeks like that can remind you, especially we're in the rut right now. October is the rut. The honeymoon period is long gone. Kids are testy. Kids are bickering with other kids. Students' real true personalities show out for better or for worse, and we're just in a rut. It's that rutty time of the year. It's the grinded out time of year. We got Thanksgiving break here in the States. We got Christmas coming up. We have another rut that happens in like February, March, but right now it's a rut, and I know many of you are in the same position that I was, being frustrated, broken down. All I'll say is, just compartmentalize. If you had a bad day at school, don't let that affect your personal life, your friends, family. They always deserve us at our best, and if you can try to separate that out, that's the best thing you can do, and that's what I strive to do. That doesn't always work. Usually the last thing I think about before I go to sleep is teaching, and it's usually the first thing I think about when I wake up. I can't really control that, but I try to compartmentalize as much as I can. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. I hope you had a great week. Let me know how your week was down in the comments below. I want to interact on this video with you guys this week. I really want to get deep into the comments. So let me know how your week went. Good, bad. What things did you try that worked? What things did you not try that didn't work? How can you relate to my kindergarten? If you teach kindergarten or upper grades, let's rap. Let's get some good dialogue going on this video this time. Love you guys. Have a good weekend. Find your gift, share it with the world, and remember, you are worth it. See you tomorrow.